Interesting. Interesting? Which part? Uh, Interesting, that's it. Yes. We've done this guy.
Oh, you should see
Blank.
button. I want to know why left is upside down below.
Why
left.
is this upside down?
Yeah. below.
You have to wait 15 minutes for that. They showed and then made the post. Yeah. Okay, so what was the first thing that came to your mind when you saw the poster? Or when you saw the topic? Okay. Back.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, okay.
I was thinking more about lust and love might sometimes be similar, or they might, or how do you say it? People might mistake one over the other.
Okay.
And I feel like, it's important to kind of define what lust is and what love is and the key difference between that.
Oh, then what since you started it, why don't you give the definition?
Or
according to you, what do
okay.
you think is the definition?
So I feel like with lust,
we have two books, so let's keep this. Excuse my handwriting. It's been a while since I held
so I feel like with lust, it might be for personal desire or maybe selfish needs, but love is selfless.
Expectations, right?
Hmm.
So you say?
What is expectations, right?
Yeah.
On this side?
Yeah.
And love has no expectations?
No, it's more like reciprocation.
He does say. Okay. So if you're going back, where we go from. I guess someone has this, but that's fine. That's how this happens.
It's a reciprocation rather than no expectation.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? Did you say reciprocation?
Mhm.
Yeah. Is there like an opposite to this over there? If this is reciprocation, if love is like reciprocation, is there a messed up version of it?
One-sided. One-sided, and yeah,
No, he's saying something.
one-sided. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he said. Okay. And then there was a one-sided one. Which can be said.
Yeah.
Nice.
Less is taste, you don't get.
Only. Now the word will do it. I'll be the. I'm not the left side.
We would want a better side, right? Maybe for the left side, but it's too better.
Okay, that's the point. Love doesn't depend on external. So write that down. Last is more external than this looks like. What do you say?
One is sensual, or you use your senses on the left side.
Oh, here?
Oh, no, we're.
No, there's nothing here.
No, there's more sense gratification, let's put that, sense gratification on the left side. Left side.
That one is mutual respect.
Mutual respect. Okay.
Maybe on the left side, you can.
So yeah, that's something.
Never ending.
The whole side.
Okay, I can put eternal then?
Yeah. That's a good one.
We also got soul satisfying on that side.
Yes, the sense gratification, soul satisfaction.
Okay. Yeah, we shifted.
Over here.
Guys.
This side.
I'll just go outside.
Might want to temporary
How are you?
that.
You're getting more points for your side.
Cool. What was it?
Now is the responsibility.
Response. Over here. Can you explain that more?
Being with a couple, being in a relationship with someone, you have to take care of each other moods and ups and downs.
Can I put more relationship oriented then?
One has open communication.
It's good we have people who understand love better than us, but okay, I'm fine to lose.
Plus, there is no communication.
No communication, you think?
If you wanna do it, you do it.
It's just a soy contender, right? So that's the communication.
No.
On the left side, you could say use or abuse or whatever you want to say there.
What's it, last name?
That's the best part of
What? That's the best part.
Yeah, either you use them or you get used.
Oh,
From your perspective, it's a very fascinating viewpoint. And we could explore this further. Okay, now I'm curious. Trauma, we were talking about that being the best part, right?
Yeah, I said it was the best part, not the worst part.
You want to surrender on the left side? That's a nice one.
yeah.
Surrender.
Why say
Somebody was here for the class.
Yeah.
Oh,
Patience.
Actually, your mind went to 2 weeks ago. My mind went to this Pokemon cartoon when I was young. So Team Rocket would say surrender now or prepare to fight. So I was imagining like a partner telling their partner surrender now or prepare to fight. So correct.
Committed to mutual growth.
Sacrifice.
We need more lust. He's getting bored.
yeah.
Seems like you guys are all in mode of business.
All these partners.
Yeah.
They're all pretending.
We have such nice words on that side. Give us some not so nice words.
There
on
is
this
no
side.
emotional connection on this.
Sorry, there is no.
There is no emotional connection.
No communication, no connection. Nothing's working out here.
Yeah, it's nothing needs to work out on that one.
Right, because it's use and abuse, right? To the
Yeah.
point that you were pushing up earlier. Okay, good.
So,
Say for lust, it's good for only a short period of time and then it's hurtful after that.
Hurtful, yeah.
but sometimes that can be long term as well.
Wait, what?
I think all of us get the idea, right? What's the dictionary definition that used for love and lust? Let me read it out. Love is supposed to be an intense feeling of deep affection. While lust is supposed to be a very strong sexual desire or passionate desire for something. When you saw this topic, how many of you just immediately thought that, you know what, this is going to be about relationships. This is something about, in the direction of sex or something. How many of you thought? You guys are lying, right? I mean, tell me what you actually thought about this topic. I want to know. At least one of you has to respond. Other than these two, one of you has to respond. So, what love did you think of? And lust. Love is supposed to be something that's selfless and something that is done without expecting anything in return, which most of you guys have already gotten. So, which means that you guys have read the Bhagavad Gita in some fashion or other. And for lust, what he says is the love that we have in the spiritual world. And when we come to the material world, and when it's mixed with passion of sorts, it turns into lust. And essentially, what he means by lust is not only the form that we look at it in a more sexual aspect where there is a desire for someone else, but it can also be said as temptations, hindrances that comes along, which which directs you away from your goal, right? For example, let's say I'm planning to go to the gym. I love myself so much, I want to stay healthy, and I'm planning to go to the gym. But unfortunately for me, on the way I go to the gym, there's an ice cream parlor. Now, if I were to take a diversion, like, let my senses go wild and think, hey, you know what, it's okay to indulge once. That's me diverging from my goal, which is to go to the gym and stay healthy. I'm just gonna eat ice cream. Now, the ice cream that I'm gonna eat at that point, it's gonna be very amazing. It's gonna be like, oh wow, this is the greatest stuff I've ever had. But after a while, I'm gonna feel regret. And this is a true story. I'm not even making it up. That's why my voice is like this. But how many of you have had that similar experiences in life where you have a focus, but something just tempts you and you just take a diversion, and by the time it's too late. Yeah? Wow. Me too. So what does this show? Right? As human beings, we have both love and lust inside us. No one can claim here saying, what, I'm completely free of lust. Like that's not the thing, right? It's there. But when it comes up, how are you going to deal with it? Or how are you going to make sure it doesn't take up your whole time and take you away from your goal? Now, I'm not saying that don't eat that ice cream. The ice cream is nice, but don't make it a regular practice. Know when it is allowed and when it's not, right? Okay. So let's take it one step further. Yeah, let's say this, you have a goal, and this is a temptation of sort. You know what? Can you guys give me some example on how, or what are some scenarios that you think you have been? Yeah.
I have a question. Some people have lust itself as a goal. Then what do you say? Because I've come across people who made them as their life goal. I've seen that people sleep with like 100 men, them 100 women, and they have a list of it.
Okay.
So if that is their goal itself, then goal and lust, there is no difference, right? So what is the point then?
Well, then that comes back to the point that what do they think is their goal? Well, do you think that's a nice goal to have?
No? That's the bad thing.
Yeah, so it can be a multiple things. It can be that they perceive it in a way, like there may be a lack of knowledge for them to say, you know what, there is something higher than just doing this. Or they might just be so hurt that they're just trying to numb their pain by just focusing on this. So there's going to be multiple aspects. Like you as a person just can't look at that person and say, you know what, this one's doing this one's just bad. You don't know their life. But from an overall perspective, you know that that's going to be detrimental for that person, right? So unless you know that person very well, probably there's no point judging. But you can do your best to maybe direct them in the right path if they're your friends.
Tried, but I failed. That's the true experience.
Well, you can't help everyone. At least you personally, maybe you need more resources. I mean, a lot of things, but yeah. Anyway, I wanted to know some goals that you guys have had personally and which you would have, temptations slash lust strike you and deviate you away from. I gave you the gym example. What? Starting an assignment. Okay. Okay, so it starts, that's the goal. Okay, where does it go from there? Maybe watching a movie? Yeah. Do you come back to the assignment though?
And it's deadlines.
11:59, right? Come to it at 11:59.
Probably like 10 minutes before that.
10 minutes.
Then send an email to the DA saying, hey, accidents happened, give me an extension.
Sure. So some other examples, come on. A lot of you raised your hands when I said this thing.
Sleeping early at night.
Sleeping early at night, that's your goal. Okay. Netflix distracts you. YouTube. Okay. Anyone else? One more.
For me, it was like to at least make 10 genuine connections over this year. Haven't
Okay.
yet made anyone yet, so that's my goal. Apart from the normal stuff, to
Okay.
seem to be in,
To establish relationship.
not in sort of a relationship, have a meaningful connection with the person,
Well, what do you call that essentially? Like, what do you mean by a meaningful
Like-
connection?
having a good friendship. A person
That's
that
a relationship. See, that's the thing. Like, we need to come out of this idea that relationship means it is between a boy and a girl only in the aspect of love or marriage or boyfriend girlfriend concept, right? The relationship that you have with your parents, that's a relationship. With your friends, is a relationship, right? So, just take a step back. That's what I meant. So the first time when you guys, and when I first heard this topic, I also always thought about it from a relationship lens. But there is a different lens in which you can look at it. Yeah. So anyway, so you all agree that at some point you had a goal or you still have a goal and temptations do strike and it takes you away from that. What are the steps have you guys considered taking to kind of navigate around it and make sure you stay on the path and not deviate?
Being in association with people who have a similar goal as you.
Okay, I need my scribe again.
Okay, I get
No, just a second. Yeah, I think we can do this. No, what? Not the love part. So you said being with people with similar mindset. Okay. Self-discipline. Yeah. Okay. Accountability. Focus. Wow. Consistency. Okay. Mobile reminder. Mobile reminder. What? So the question is, what are some steps that you can take to make sure you're not tempted to go away from your goal? Yeah.
Gain confidence.
Confidence in what?
Anything. Small thing. Build it by little.
Okay. Maybe confidence in your actions. Okay. Well, I have a question for you. Your temptation is also an action. So do you have confidence in that too?
This mostly not like
Your temptations?
yeah, and if confidence comes, you realize you don't need.
Wouldn't following along to your temptations be count as confidence
That's
because
what I asked. So his argument is temptations is because you have fear, or you do.
Major thing about is fear of failure. If it's in terms of fear, it is fear of failure.
kind of like procrastination.
So it's procrastination essentially. Temptations are because of procrastination because you don't want to deal with it. It's a way to escape from the reality. Right?
So I'm trying to understand this. So this almost sounds like some kind of confidence in the purpose itself. Like, oh, this makes sense to me. This is like a worthwhile thing to do, and you feel confident you can get to it. And so you're using that to kind of to keep yourself motivated instead of falling for a temptation. Was that kind of a yoga
Yeah.
purpose? Yeah.
Best thing, break the goal apart. Each like hitting each aspect.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what, you guys. You know what, you guys hit most of the topics that I wanted to speak on as well.
Routine, Karthik. Routine. So if you have a routine.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
I'm less
consistency
likely
already.
to get tempted and.
Right. Yeah.
Meditation.
Sorry?
Meditation.
Meditation. Okay.
Yes, you could do that, right? You could take a step back. You could.
Okay, if you speak out loud, I can write it here.
How you have to have confidence in the fact that even if you are tempted, that you're gonna get back into the right path.
So even if you diverge, you will get back on your original course.
Confidence in your goal.
Avoid distraction.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. So, we can reuse some of these words. Confidence can also be said as conviction. Yeah. You guys agree? So what does conviction mean for you guys? As students, what does conviction mean right now? Say you have a goal. Let's take a common goal that applies for all of you guys. You want to land a good job. Okay. A high paying 6-figure job. Okay. But what's the conviction? Like that's the goal. What's your conviction towards that? Like, why do you need that job?
To pay rent.
Okay, to pay off the loan. Okay, loan, rent, material desires. What else? Material desires.
Get back home.
Get back home.
Oh yeah, that costs money.
Okay.
Finish the loan, get back home, settle with the family.
Someone also said get a wife, by the way. Just pointing it out.
Gotta get a job to get a wife. That's true.
I mean, here it might not be as bad as India, but whoever said that it might not be as bad as India. But anyway, okay.
But still, home is where you have the loved ones.
Okay, let's go with job for now. And the conviction for the job is loan and rent. Yeah. So what are the things that? So essentially, what you're saying is you need a job so that you can make some money, right? To be independent. That's your goal.
It's the connection.
The conviction is for you to be independent. Okay. Yeah, but the main thing is from mostly what I hear is you guys need money, right?
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I'm the same, don't worry. So what do you think are some of the temptations that come in this path? You guys would have already faced it right now. I know I faced it when I was a student.
Impulsive spending.
Spending?
Impulsive spending.
Impulsive spending, okay. Anything else?
Procrastination when it comes to like
Yeah.
building your.
Well, you can also say that you not doing your coursework or procrastinating on an assignment or using ChatGPT to do your assignment, whatever it may be. All of those eventually falls under the umbrella of preventing you from reaching your goal, and it is distracting you. Why? Because you're not developing the necessary skill sets to get that, right? So you need to have a strong conviction. Job, okay, like this was just a thing that I came up with. But you guys have to figure out what is your conviction to hold on to it that will not sway no matter how strong the storm of temptation is. It doesn't matter. Like I can't tell you that. No, I can't go tell you, you know what, you need money, so you have to be convinced, you have to have the conviction. Even if I say that, it'll stay with you for a week, 2 weeks, that's it. After that, you'll just forget about it. But if you ask yourself, now what, hey, why am I doing this? Why am I in the United States? Why am I at IIT? Why am I here on a Friday at 7 o'clock? Those kind of questions you need to ask yourself, and you have to build up your conviction. So that's one way. No, that's the confidence conviction that we spoke about. Another thing is something called openness, which I would put it under accountability. What it essentially means is, no, okay, I'll take my life as an example. I did not come to this spot by just being closed up, not sharing things with people and just, thinking, you know what, I can figure it out. I am independent, I'm strong, I can just figure it all out on my own. That did not help me. I tried that, it did not help me. But what helped me was when I had myself being accountable and also some of my friends who I trust to be accountable for my actions. So I have this roommate, we would just check in with each other once a week to say, what our day was, what our goals were, and how we did not reach it or did not reach it. And as funny as it sounds, it helps. It doesn't have to be something great by saying, oh, what, you have to do it every week. That's not what I'm saying. But have someone that you trust in your life to help you. This person should not think that, oh, what, this person is climbing up and I want to pull them down or something like that. So it has to be someone who you have immense trust with and who that he will have your corner. He or she will have your corner when life gets tough. Okay, so find someone like that who will help you with that. So that will really help you not be swayed by temptations. The third one is what I like to call a safety, which can come under self-discipline. I'll say how. Okay, so one of the temptations in this process you said was impulse spending. Okay, why do you guys impulse spend? Just give me an example. Black Friday sale, when you're shopping. Any other part? When you go to Patel Brothers, when you see that kakra or something over there that you want to eat.
Coffee, food.
Coffee, food. Okay. You guys don't impulse spend at all?
If you're going on a stroll for a say window shopping and you end up buying something randomly which is not necessary.
Okay.
Sephora.
Okay. Okay. So essentially clothes or something that you think it's nice. So what I mean to say is, in this example, it's about money and how you don't want to spend money. So what's one good way that you think that you can avoid doing that? You said coffee. How do you think you can avoid spending too much on coffee?
At home.
Make coffee at home. Great. H&M. How do you think you can avoid? Take another route.
Yeah, because stitching clothes is not an option. So
Sephora, I don't have an option. My wife still
Buy in
spends.
India.
She still spends there. I've been trying to reel her in. It's not working.
Buy in India. It's
Buy in
cheap.
India, yeah. But yeah, the idea of self-discipline / safety is if you think that there is some aspect that is actually taking you away from your path and you're not able to control it and you think you're going to give into it, just don't get into it in the first place. For example, if someone is struggling with alcohol abuse, right? They're not going to go and buy alcohol voluntarily. They try to hang out with friends who don't drink. They try to avoid the clubs and everything because those are all trigger places where you will regress if you don't have enough self-discipline. So one famous quote that I read somewhere is, if you want to win a battle, don't even start it in the first place. So if you come into a scenario like that, make sure you avoid it as much as possible. Yeah. The last one is routine, consistency, routine. That's pretty self-explanatory. Just keep up with your routine. Just make sure you keep following that, and go through with it. Any questions on any of this so far? Any comments? Things you guys want to discuss? Yes, no? Yeah. Okay. No questions? No comments?
Wait, what was the question?
the question was whether there were any questions.
Yes.
Okay. No.
Crystal clear.
You're there in the battle, then what to do?
That's where this comes in. You ask for help. You use your own conviction as well. You rely on the consistency and routine that you have built up to avoid that. Or if you're in that already, control your senses. Try to make sure you remind yourself of your goal, why you're doing it. That's why the conviction is important over there. Your conviction needs to be strong enough. But if you are in the battle, like you said, use the other resources. Ask a friend to help you. Just call someone. It's not too hard. Like we have friends on there's WhatsApp now, and even if you don't have someone close here, you can always call someone in India, or call your parents to talk about it. It can be anyone. But you're not limited for resources, right? Or worst, just walk away from that place. Yeah, it's not too hard. Just walk away. Just turn around and walk away. That's it. Just walk it off. Most of the time, we think that in life we have to take decisions at the spot. When you're put in the spot, you think like, it's a do or die situation where you have to make a decision. But it's not like someone's pointing a gun at you and they're asking you to make a decision. It's okay to take a breath, stop, pause, and analyze the situation. Do not react to situations. Stop reacting to situations. Respond to them. You understand the difference? Yeah. So, this is the different outlook that we have for love and lust. Now, this you have to apply towards the spiritualist path. So for example, you want to be, progress spiritually. Your XYZ goals that you have. You can use the same principle to apply to that, and as well as to any normal goals that you have in your life, like for example, a job, or to get a wife, or whatever it may be, or to do a PhD for that matter. It can be anything, but make sure you have a goal and you have a good conviction for it, because that's the one that's going to take you forward. Yeah.
The love is the goal, that's it.
No.
Only the lust, the temptation is the lust.
Yes. Well, love can be your goal. If that is your goal, sure.
No, I'm just telling because you wrote on this side and that side, that's why.
Well, I was too lazy to walk over there.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry, you had a question.
You said spiritual goal. So what sort of spiritual goal we should have? And how to start?
Well, want to help me here? Well, are you new? Did you just join this semester, or have you been here for a while?
No, I have been here for a while.
Okay, cool.
But this is first time in person.
Okay, so this is the first time you're coming to Vedic Vision Society's session in person. Okay. Well, since last semester we have been having this concept called what's it like to be a spiritualist, and some of the topics that we covered were who we are. Actually, we are spirit souls. Like we are just not we are just not someone who just comes to life and just passes away and just goes into non-existence or something. Like we have a past, we do have a future, and we are spirit souls in that perspective. And it is the journey of the soul from birth, in the way how that soul tries to connect with the super soul, in this case God or Krishna, and what is the process to reach there. That is the ultimate goal, to love Krishna or to be in service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or God, or however you might want to call that. But in that process also, there are various steps you go through it, right? For example, okay, the ultimate goal is to reach God. Does it mean that you don't care about what happens around you? Does it mean that you just give up on life and just go meditate somewhere in the Himalayas or something? No. Like in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, there are different ways where you can achieve. There is Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, etc., etc. And you pick which one you like and you follow it. But do not pick one from here, one from there, one from there. That's not going to work. If you want to follow a process, stick to the process. Yeah, we can definitely talk more after the session if you want, in depth. But that's the overview, what the goal is.
And just to add, like about a week ago, His Holiness Radhesham Prabhu came to Perishos, and he was speaking to us. And he said, just start small. there's this process called ABCD process. Association, like what we're doing right now, associating with like-minded people. Book reading, just simply picking up a Bhagavad Gita or anything, any knowledge, and just reading 5 pages a day. That's it. Chanting, you get up in the morning, you do a little bit of meditation, you recite mantras, like, whatever practice we usually do, you chant the Maha Mantra, which is something we'll be doing soon. And last one is diet or prasadam. Whatever you make, whatever you cook, you should just offer it back to God, and you have that remnants. Those are the 4 simple process. Each one won't take more than 5-10 minutes per day. So that's how we can start small and gradually work our way up.
Cool. Okay, the bow on top to tie this all up. What I want to say is we looked at a different lens, right? Now, with other than looking love and lust from a perspective of relationships, we are also looking at it how love can be goal and lust is the temptations that come along in the process. Now let's just come back to the original topic again on how we look at it through relationships, right? All the points that you guys have mentioned here that exactly summarizes what love and lust is. Yeah. So which one do you think is nicer? Let me just ask you that. Which one do you think is nicer? Love? Why?
There's no stress.
There's no stress.
I think we put responsibility in love, so I'm not very sure about the no stress part.
I really want to understand what you mean by when you say no stress.
You don't want to fake anything in that. That's his meaning. Like,
Sorry?
you don't have to fake.
Because of surrender, there's no stress.
Because of surrender, there is no stress.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been married more than me. You tell me. Why?
There's stress involved.
He has more experience, I can't comment yet.
Karthik, can I say like maybe this is more permanent?
This is more permanent, yeah, eternal.
Yeah, and that's, and that's
Superficial, temporary, whatever.
temporary, so that's why this seems worthwhile goal to pursue is because it's permanent.
But you feeling that way, that's really amazing. I don't think most people feel that way when they are in love. It may be with your loving relationship with your parents, with your friends, with your relatives, whatever it may be. But I don't think most people feel that way.
It's just that if it's love, then there's no stress.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The very fact that you feel that when you have that realization, that's just amazing. Yeah.
I think he mean to say like you don't have to take anything, so you don't have any stress to give like any performance sort of thing. So you don't have to any like performance anxiety is not there that way.
It's always managed to pull something from that or that.
Yeah, there was an O that I distinctly heard for that performance. I was like, okay, very interesting. You're pushing it, but
Effortless. Yeah, effortless.
It's effortless. Okay. Yeah.
I think it's more like it's long-term happiness and we all want to be happy. So
Right.
Love or overall we're happier.
Yeah. And there's no judgment to it. Yeah. And if you see, most of the time over here, it's more of a long-term investment that everyone said. But when you try to reach to this, there is always a lot at stake, from a relationship perspective or from your goals perspective and everything. There's a lot at stake for a short-term gain or happiness that you see. Yeah. So, yeah, making a conscious effort to be in this zone is nicer. One more thing I wanted to touch base on is, have you guys ever noticed that we use the word love very casually? How many of you love ice cream? Yeah? No? How many of you love pizza? Tell me some other food.
no, man.
Butter chicken, paneer, butter masala. Okay, how many of you love food? Okay. So do you guys love food or do you like food?
It's a necessity. I mean, it's a necessity if you don't have it.
Yeah, it's a necessity, but doesn't mean you have to love it.
I mean, completing your assignments is a necessity
Yeah.
too, but I don't think any of us love it.
But the point I'm trying to drive is, when it comes to love, it's a relationship. It needs equal effort from both sides, and it's a two-way street. Now, when you say you love food, the food is not loving you back. Okay, if at all anything, it's making you fat. Same thing with ice cream; it's giving you diabetes after a point. But you understand the point, right? When that's what I mean. We just casually use the word love. Yeah.
That's where the word selfless comes.
What?
Keeps you alive, so.
Yeah, it keeps you alive. So that does mean you have to love it.
The food is selfless.
Was that your point when you said selfless? It's just nourishing you without expecting anything in return. Lovely.
I stand corrected then. But you understand the idea, right? Love essentially means that you're forming a relationship with the other person. And if there's no relationship or if it's just a one-way street, it's not going to work out. So remember that as well. Yes.
How do you differentiate love and lust in the initial stage? Where it is going or how it will start?
Okay.
Because at the same time, it seems to be the same thing in the beginning, but then it deviates. So how do you differentiate?
Well, one example that was given is a mother's love. Your mother loves you, right? And you know how she loves you. If you see in that love, you will see all of these aspects over there. There is selflessness, there's patience, all of this sacrifice, all of this is there, right? So let's take the example of you applying it in a day mundane relationship, right? If you're doing it just for yourself from a selfish goal, like what, I want to do it for getting money or to feel good in that instant. I don't care what happens to the person after this is done. Probably tending on that side. But if it's more in a service orientation where hey, I genuinely want to have a connection, relationship with this person. I want to get to know them better and I want to serve them in any way possible, even if I don't get something in return. Now, mind you, I'm not saying get walked over by people. Okay, please have the intelligence to differentiate those two as well. But that's what comes in this aspect. Make sense?
Yeah. Like doing something irrespective of what you're expecting or nothing.
Well, best ways don't have any expectations. Yeah.
I mean, there's also a difference between reciprocity and transactional, and being able to identify that is also important. Like if it's lust, the odds are it's more transactional, which means you're thinking about like, okay, it's all short term. Reciprocity normally is more long term. Like your mom may do something for you that you don't appreciate in that instant, but she is so invested in your well-being that she may still suggest that even if she knows that you're not going to like her in that instant, because there's that trust that in the long run, there will be reciprocation. You'll be grateful that your mother did what she did for you. And so that to me is also like one big way of kind of identifying whether I'm going in the lust direction or in the love direction, because lust a lot of times feels transactional. Love is more like there's more reciprocity, and that need not necessarily be like, okay, I gave you 2 units, you gave me 2 units back, and then you're just going on and on with that.
Yeah, best.
In short, love is unconditional and lust is conditional.
You have it, yes.
Karthik, I have a question. I thought he was asking, what if, doesn't all love start with lusty desire, like from a lust perspective, like, because your attraction comes from, like, you see a beautiful person.
Right, sure.
You're attracted to their beauty, not necessarily, oh, I would like to be selflessly in love with them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely true. Yeah. So like I said, as human beings, no one is without lust here. Okay. The fact that that comes up, sure. Okay. But what do you do after that? You talk to that person, you get to know them better, and then do you still and then once you know that person, you kind of make a decision. What? Do I actually love this person for who she is or who or she is? Or am I just attracted to their physical body? A very nice example in this part is, okay.
Isn't love a little slow process that it happens eventually?
Yeah, that's why I said you talk to the person.
No. So just by talking one time, you are thinking that you end up.
Okay, yeah. So you're not thinking about the Indian matrimony right now. Yeah, that's no, I'm just making fun of you. But yeah, you're right. Yeah. But what I mean to say is you keep talking to that person and you try to understand. But when you talk to the person, what is your ulterior motive? Is your motive just to use that person? Or is your motive is to genuinely get to know the person? That's something only you can answer. And you know it. Now, whether if you want to accept it or not, that's you. Yeah. Yeah. And that's where the responsibility, eternal, surrender and open communication, all of those comes in.
But I don't think there's a fixed time frame for that. People.
I never said there should be a time frame. Yeah, I never said there should be a time frame.
It's also following his, it's slow. Depends.
See, the very fact that you're saying it is slow means that you're expecting a quick result out of something. And that also falls under this category over here. Because we are so used to getting instantaneous results. WhatsApp, instantaneous. Google search results, instantaneous.
That's why I said no time frame.
Yeah. So it's just how we are conditioned in this world right now that everything is just instantaneous. If the web page loads for too long, throw the computer. That's what you do, right?
Hopefully not, but okay.
So Karthik, can I make a point about that? So Krishna or divine or God is so wonderful, just like your true affection for the love. Like if the person that you are truly seeking has these qualities, you may be attracted from their beauty, but what ends up happening, these qualities ends up being the most attractive for them. So Krishna, in his case, if you want to do well in your exam, if you want to, if you're suffering with something, he still wants you to come to them for material things. So you go to him in a lusty way. Okay, think of it that way. And when that lusty way, you go to it, but then you realize, oh my God, Krishna's way more than just giving me money, giving me grades, etc. And then you fall in love with all these qualities, right? So to answer that question, sometimes you are attracted by lust, but if they're true, their love will win over. Yeah.
There's a story that I was told before. As this princess, and the knight is trying to court her. And he says, oh, you know what, you look so beautiful. Now I want to marry you. Blah, 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 cliche English movie. And the princess says, you know what, come after 2 months. And then you look at me. And then if you can say the same thing, I'll truly marry you. So for the next 2 months, she stops eating. Okay, she just makes herself famished. She's becoming lean. Her skin's becoming dull and everything. And after 2 months, the guy comes and sees. And she opens the door. And it's like, you know what, I'm not here for the maid. Call the princess. I'm like, oh, hey, I am the princess. What happened to you? Why are you like this? Like, yeah, no, I was not eating well. So all my beauty is gone, but I'm still me. He's like, no, I don't want to marry you. This is not the person I love. Or this is not the person I wanted to marry. She's like, I'm still the same. If you want all my beauty, it's over there in a bottle, with all the food and everything and all the stool and everything over there. But this guy is like, he just freaks out and he just walks away saying, you know what, no, this is not what I signed up for. And then she tells him, you do not love me for me. You do not want to marry me for me. You were just captivated by my beauty, that you just wanted to have me. But you didn't really want me in marriage. So that's the point that was driven. So, that's another, I guess, story that you can remind yourself if you ever feel stuck in a place like that. Yeah.
So Kirtan is going to be in the big hall, just because we have so many people, and then the prasadam is going to be served outside as well.
Of course. Okay. Well, if that's it, then I'm done.